Tim, Superintendent of Bill County School, and Mrs. Walker Thompson, Principal of Northeast High School. Welcome to the Bill CTE Master Classroom. The Bill County Public School District RTC program provides a citizenship, character, and leadership development program for high school students. It is about building student leaders to ensure each student demonstrates character and college or career ready. I would like to express our gratitude to our special guests, Brigadier General Kelvin, a Northeast High School graduate, for joining us today. We feel privileged to have an esteemed guest and a patriot in our midst.
Good morning. Today we are honored to have a former alumnus of Northeast High School with us. Brigadier General Kelvin McElroy is the commander of the 4th Generation Center, Air Force Reserve Command at Robins Air Force Base in Georgia. He manages a global force that provides reserve airmen to combat capable units, supporting command commanders around the world. Brigadier General McElroy is a 1988 graduate of Northeast High School and a graduate of Fort Valley State University. He originally started the Army through the Army Reserve Training Officer Program in 1994 and joined the Air Force Reserve in 2000. His career has taken him to locations throughout the United States and around the world before bringing him back home to Middle Georgia. The Air Force Reserve is an important part of our country's defense, with more than 70,000 part-time and full-time airmen carrying out space, air, and cyberspace missions. General McCoy, we are honored to have you here and look forward to what you share with us. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. You say it again, good morning. Good morning. And thank you for being here. This is beautiful. Back home. Yes, sir. It's great. Once again, it's great to be here. Back to the grounds that I started from. And the grounds that you're walking today, I walk those same grounds. The hallways and the buildings are a little different, but the ground is still the same. So today, I don't have a canned speech, but I want to do, what I've been charged to do today is share with you where I started from and how I got to where I am today. And once again, it all started right here in Middle Georgia, right on Fort Hill Street, 1192 Fort Hill Street, right across from the Elizabeth Baptist Church. And then I moved to Emory Highway, where my grandmother I had a house on Emory Highway. I'm quite sure many of you guys know that area. Fort Hill, called Fort Hill, Fort Hawkins, Emory Highway. So with that said, what I want to do is, first of all, I just want to say good morning and thank you. And then what I want to do is share one quote, one acronym, and what I call the formula for success. And then I'll just share with you my life story on how I started, once again, in the halls of this very building and moved to where I am now, being one of the, sorry for me, hard to say this, one of the top rankingest officers in my field in Reserve Command. So with that said, I'm just going to read my notes here. You got to excuse me if I put on my glasses. Also, I want to say hello to all my fellow Raiders out there. See my classmate still serving here. Thank you, teachers, administration, for what you do. I can't say that enough. When I give you guys my life story, I'm going to tell you, teachers changed my trajectory in life. Education changed the trajectory of my life. But you got to be open and willing to hear what they have to say. So with that said, I'm going to give you my one quote, my one acronym, and my formula that I have used to be successful in life. The quote, life is what you imagine it to be. Not what your sister, your brother, your mother, but life is what you imagine it to be. The acronym P, A, W, Paul. Perspective, action, will. The one formula. You have to have enough courage to get started, enough sense to focus on something you're naturally suited for, and enough perseverance to stay the course, even when things get tough. Plus, a lot of hard work. Yes, a lot of hard work. So, life is what you imagine it to be. So, as a young lad, living in Fort Hill, at the time I was about 12 years old, and it was summer, sitting on my grandmother's front porch on Emory Highway, watching the cars go by, wondering, where are these people going? What are they doing? How can I get there? And so at the time, I was raised by my grandmother, and so we had to stay in the yard. We couldn't roam in the neighborhood freely. We had to have permission to go out the yard. So we had to stay in her yard. So sitting on the front porch, I would often wonder, where were those individuals in those cars going? So at night, this was back in the early 80s, WMAZ. Thank you, Mike. Let's keep going here. WMAZ, there was a show about the Warner Robins Air Force Base that they would show. So on Sunday nights, the television would actually go off and they would play the national anthem. But prior to that, this show, Warner Robins, WMAZ, would show the events of Warner Robins. If I talk loud enough, can you guys hear me?
Sir, it's an alternate over there.
Okay.
It's power on.
All right. Yeah. So back to life is what you imagine it to be. So we used to watch this show about Warner Robins Air Force Base, and before we would go to bed, my mother would make us say our prayers. Get on our knees and say our prayers, and she would always, say to us that our wilderness is our wealth. Our wilderness is our wealth. Our willingness to be open. Our willingness to learn. Our willingness to put in the work is our wealth. God's word is the seed, and our soul is the soil, right? And so when she was praying that prayer with us, and I would see that show, it made me imagine. That show exposed me to a life outside of Fort Hill. It gave me an opportunity to wonder, okay, where can I go and serve my nation? So fast forward to growing up, moved on to high school, went to McElroy, went on to high school, came to Northeast High School. So this is where teachers come into play. So when I was going to Northeast High School, there used to be 3 different tracks. I'm not sure if the curriculum is still set up that way. You had vocational, you had general, you had college prep. So being a little slick kid that I wanted to do general, right? So in the hallways of this building right here, I was on my way to the administration office to turn in my paperwork because my mom had convinced my mom to sign me to be in the general track. I'm on my way, a math teacher by the name of Mr. Thurl Johnson stopped me in the hallway and said, "Young man, where are you headed?" Probably like one of your administrators here. "Where are you headed?" I said, "I'm headed to turn in my paperwork." He said, "Let me see what you got there." And he looked down at it and he said, "General." He said, "Do you know the difference between the general track and the college prep track? It's 2 math classes." That's right. "Yeah, I know that." He said, "But, I'm a math teacher." He said, "I'm strongly suggesting you do college prep because you're going to college. You're really coming to the military." So with that, I was open to receive what the advice he had to give me. Fast forward, I'm on the college prep track. Okay, so life is still evolving, right? So then, at the time, as a kid, I was never able to play sports. So I played sports for the Northeast Raiders, right? And so I would go to school every day. I had a job at Piggly Wiggly, and also I played sports, basketball, football, track, because I had a desire to want to play sports. So I say that to say I came to practice every day. I wasn't a starter, I wasn't the best athlete, but every day I came to practice. I didn't miss a day. By me being disciplined, Coach Dean Brown saw something in me in my 12th grade year, along with Mr. Johnson. They made the alignment and the relationship so that I could go to Fort Valley State University on a football scholarship. Had no idea that these men were in my life at that point in my life to lead to where I was going. But once again, on that front porch, life is what I imagined it to be. I had the desire in my mind that I wanted to be something great. I wanted to serve my nation. I wanted to continue to grow and mature. So fast forward, I go to Fort Valley, play football at Fort Valley, and was in an ROTC, walking through the hallways of the student center, I met Captain Lewis. And he said, at the time we could take PE or ROTC. I chose ROTC. And so he asked me a question. He said, "Young man," he said, "when you graduate from college, how many of your classmates will have a career versus a job?" I said, "I don't know, maybe 10%. So that's probably, say 40%, 40 of the people out of 400 probably have a job lined up when they leave Fort Valley." He said, if you do ROTC, get through the course, I guarantee you, on the day you walk across the stage and raise your right hand, that you will have a career. Guaranteed. I said, sign me up. So that leads into, that's our life story. Just want to give you the foundation. So what does that have to do with me being up here today talking to you? You're wondering why am I here? I'm here to encourage you. Once again, life is what you imagine it to be, right? I'm looking here at all these fine cadets here that I'm actually looking for myself. One of you will be the chief of some service. It may be the Air Force, it may be the Army, maybe the Navy, maybe the Marines, and now the Space Force. Yes, I sat in those same seats. Yes, I was out there wondering, what is that guy up on that stage talking about? Me being where he is when I sat in the seats and listened to someone give a speech about where they came from as well. So I say that to say, once again, life is what you imagine it to be, perspective. So my perspective, as you can see, changed as different people came into my life. Because all I wanted to do was get a job, make some money, and have fun at that time. But Mr. Johnson, Northeast High School, Fort Valley, all those mentors and those people that shaped and molded my life, Coach Dean Brown, gave me a different perspective, right? But then, guess what I had to do? I had to take action. I had to take action. I had to come to class. I had to be disciplined. I had to show up every day. I had to study. I had to struggle. I had to fail. I had to, yes, cry at times. I was confused. I was wondering what I wanted to do. But I had to take action. And I did. I stuck with it. Will. I had to have the willingness that my mother prayed for and that I carried on to get me to the things that I wanted to do in life. So that's the part. Now the former. Most people say the hardest part is the start. This morning, somebody didn't want to get up, but you got up, right? And you came here. So, I say all that to say, how did I get to where I am? So now let's move over to what the Air Force Reserve Command, the Air Force has to offer to you. If you take any of the things that I just told you and apply it to your life, you also can be successful and stand where I am. Most people say where I am is a big deal. To me, it's hard for me to believe because I was just trying to do my best. Show up, do my best each and every day. So how did I get here? And I'm gonna use my resume to kind of relate to you guys on everyday activities, okay? So I started out as a platoon leader. So what is that? Platoon leader in the Army, right? Leading people, leadership, right? What did I learn those leadership skills? I learned those leadership skills playing football. I learned those leadership skills when I had to get out there and we were doing tour days and things were hard and our team was as big as Southwest and Central. But we had to get out there and we had to show our rate of pride. And we got out there and we gritted it out. But that teamwork, that leadership, that discipline, that dedication, Coach Dean Brown called it intestinal fortitude, all that came out when I was a platoon leader. So, start as a platoon leader, that's the entry level. So there's like an entry level manager at any company that you can think of, right? Amazon, Google, all those type of companies. So then I moved through the leadership ranks and being able to manage people at different levels and also be able to see the world deployed all around the world. So I say that to say you too can be there as well. But it starts with what you're doing right now. I'm proud of each and every one of you because you've already made a choice. Now here's the thing about that choice. You still have other choices that you made. There's some people that serve our nation. I'm quite sure there's some veterans here in this room today. They didn't stick with it the full time. They did their 4 years, they did their time, they came back to their community, they became doctors, lawyers, teachers, and other occupations and career fields. So there's a way. But my charge to you today here is to really be here to share with you a little about how I got to where I am, and then mainly the questions and answers. I know that the attention span is about 30 minutes. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to the questions and answers, and then through the questions and answers, I'll just continue to share my life story with you guys. So we can get it live up in here a little bit, you guys say. All right, so let's take the first question.
First question?
Yes, ma'am. You back there, I'm gonna use the mic. Right here?
Hey, if you have a question, come line up either side.
All right.
If you go to either side is fine. Either side is fine. All right. Excuse me, let me have your attention, please. All right, first question.
All right.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I'm private first class level.
Mm-hmm.
My question for you today, I'm representing Northeast Rebel Battalion. My question to you is, what are the key values or principles that guide your decision making as a military leader, and how do you instill those values in your team?
Okay. So values and how I instill them into my team. Okay. So, as a leader, I value trust, integrity, and transparency. My success as a leader has been transparent. Like this morning, I tried to be transparent with you guys on where I came from. So transparent and trust. So when you instill trust, transparency, and into the values that you can lead in the team, you build cohesion, right? Team cohesion. And so the things, I'm related to something that you do. So are you a part of any other type of sports besides, or any other type of activities besides ROTC? Okay. So those values, discipline, dedication, grit, resiliency, all those things that you learn through the activities that you come each day, or the things that you will carry on as you become a leader and continue to grow as a leader in whatever it is that you're going to pursue in life.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the question. Come on.
Good morning, sir.
Come on, what are you doing?
I used to be a child. I used to be a child working, and my son is what role do you believe young people play in shaping the future of the community? And how can they contribute positively to their communities and the world at large?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. So the question was, how can young people contribute to their nation and their community and contribute to the world? Having a visit, what they call a ability to serve, right? We're all seeking to do something greater than ourselves, or to serve at a higher level than ourselves. So, how can young people in this audience do that? By talking to the recruiters in the back of the room to hear what they have to say on those 200 opportunities that they have for you to serve. And the beautiful thing about the reserve command, or about the service as a whole, they're gonna educate you. They're gonna set you up on the right platform to do whatever it is you want to do. So let me just clear a myth about the military service. Whatever occupation, whatever career field there is in the civilian world, guess what? That same career field is in the military. The difference is the military or the service will help you get to where you want to. So I'll give you an example. It's called continuous learning. I'm a lifelong learner. Got my high school diploma, went to Fort Valley. The military has allowed me and paid for 2 master's degrees, taken to a national war college. I'm talking about the best people in the world from Harvard, Yale. Straight here from Northeast, I'm in class with people from Harvard, Yale, Princeton. They sent me to school. And I just left Georgetown University last week, taking a diversity, equity, and inclusion and accessibility course, a week-long course with senior leaders around the world. People that are changing it. So, how can young people be involved in their community, serve from where you are now? Talk to the recruiters, see what they have to offer. Don't be afraid to talk. Don't even have to sign up. Just see what they have to offer. Because I believe me, it changed my world. It changed my trajectory of life. If you don't take anything away from this speech today, be open. Be open. You don't have to commit, but just listen. Be open. Continue to be dedicated to have that sense you want to serve, and take action on that. And that's how we can do it.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Cadet Major Kelvin, Northeast High School, Reputation. And my question to you today is, what advice do you have for young people who may be interested in serving their country, but are unsure about whether the military is the right path for them?
Once again, another great question. If you look in the back of the room, we have some truly dedicated professionals back there that are here. I'm here to answer your questions about what it is or where you can serve, to see how you can fit into the occupations or the things that you may want to do, that you may want to pursue in life. You may want to be a doctor, lawyer. I'm not sure what you want to be in life. When you grow up.
What do I want to be?
When you grow up, yes.
Officer in the Army.
Hey, officer in the Army, still, talk to one of the recruiters. Talk to someone that has done it. So, what I was saying about life is what you imagine. If I could go back to when I was a kid, if I had the opportunity to talk to someone to say, hey, I want to be an officer in the Army, exposure, ask questions. So I just encourage everyone, just take the time to talk to the experts, the people that have done it today, to see what they have to offer. And that's how you can show up.
Thank you, sir.
Morning.
I am Cadet Jones from Level Middle School.
Hey,
And my question to you is, how do you motivate the team?
how do you motivate the team? How do I motivate? So I'm just going to talk from, I can only talk about Kelvin, right? How do I motivate the team through my actions? So there's a leadership skill or saying that they teach us in the military as a leader. As a leader, you are responsible for what your people do and what they don't. For what they do and for what they don't do. In other words, it may not be your fault, but it's your responsibility, right? So you have to be willing to show up. Leadership is hard. I'm just being curious. Leadership is hard because you have to take care of people, you have to take care of the concerns, you have to manage resources, you have to have a vision, you have to have discipline, you have to, remember I said the hardest part is to start, you got to get up and when you don't want to go, you got to go. So being disciplined, dedication, and being an example is the best way to be, to exemplify those leadership traits. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, sir. How are you today? My name is Charlie Bryce. I'm the first sergeant representing Central High School. My question for you today is, was the military traumatizing for you in any way? Was the military traumatizing for you in any way?
No, not traumatizing. You know, everyone has a little doubt, right, when you're going off the training, right? But here's the thing, it's just like anything. When your first day of school, when you go into Miss Smith's classroom, right? And you don't know anyone in that classroom. But after about 2 or 3 days, you find your best friend, you find all your friends in that classroom, you make connections, right? So you're kind of nervous and kind of scared, but once you get to know people that are part of your team, you overcome that. So it wasn't traumatizing, but it was an opportunity for me to overcome my fears, because we all have fears.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning.
My name is Paris, Cadet Harvey. I'm representing Akron Middle School. And my question is, what are your strengths and weaknesses? And so, if you have any, can you take some?
My strengths and weaknesses. I'm just gonna give you a couple of my, I think my strength is, it came from my mother, my willingness, right? My willingness to be open, my willingness to be disciplined. My weakness is, sometimes my strength can be my weakness because I have a tendency to want to do it all. And as a leader, you guys are gonna learn that it's very important that you learn to delegate. You know, at home, your mom say, hey, wash those dishes, you delegate. Your dad can say, hey, pick up the room, he's delegating. The other leaders, right, they're delegating. So if I had to fall back on a weakness, it would be sometimes I have hesitance to delegate. But my strength is my willingness to do what it takes to achieve what I'm after.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Cadet Robert First Class Kelvin, and my question for you today is, what advice would you give to high school students considering a future in the military, particularly in terms of preparation and leadership development?
Okay. Well, these are some great questions. So you have to start where you are, right? It starts right here in the classroom, education. So to enter any service, you have to take ASVAB test, right, or test. But don't be afraid of that. But so your question is, how do you prepare? You prepare by going to class, learning the educational foundational skills that you need so that when you prepare to take that test, that you're ready. So it all starts with showing up in the classroom, listening to your teachers, taking time. This generation, you guys are learning quickly. So a lot of pictures and people probably on your phone. But yeah, being able to use the education that you have now, education is the foundation. Education is the foundation. So being able to everybody doing? Y'all okay? That's for you. I'm here for you. I know it seems like it's tricky, but I just want to talk to you. Like, these are great questions. So,
Good morning.
good morning. How you doing?
Good. I'm Cadet Command Sergeant Major Six Trump, representing Central High School. And my question today is, out of all the military branches, why did the Air Force choose one?
So give you two. So that's a good question. So if you're in Ohio, start out in the Army. Right, so I did 5 years in the Army because Fort Valley only has Army and ROTC. So fast forward, I didn't get a chance to finish telling my story, so I said I would do that doing questions and answers. So I served 5 years in the Army, learned a lot of great leadership skills all over the world, deployed. But then I met my wife. So love. Love changed my career trajectory. So when with my wife was in the Air Force. I was in the Army. And so I did an in-service transfer because I found my wife. So that's how I got there.
Good morning, sir.
Hey,
I'm Cadet Corporal Kelly, and my question for you today is, I'm representing Northeast High School, and my question for you today is, what inspired you to pursue your career in the military, and how did your journey unfold from high school to a general officer?
okay, yeah, so what inspired me was, once again, remember that story I told you about watching that show on WMAZ, the show about Warren Robbins? That was the seed. And so when I saw those men and women going around the world, planted the seed and desire for me to serve. I really wanted to go to the military before God but I was blessed enough to have teachers, administrators, coaches, mentors guide me to be able to go to the school boards. So the local media inspired me, and then coming to school helped me enforce those values, those desires. And then when I got to Fort Valley, another mentor, another great citizen gave me advice on what the career in the military would be for me. So that's how I got it. It was all based upon life is imagining what I wanted to be, and people opening up and being willing to help me get there.
Thank you.
Good morning.
I'm today at Hubbard representing Rapid Electric. And my question for you today is, what have you taken away in your administration?
Well, safety committee. My family. The reason I say my family is, when times got tough, I thought about 4 years. I thought about my community. I thought about my school. I said, if not, who, right? They say, who? Why not me? It was me, right? And so I had other sisters that I had to be the example for. And I made a commitment as a young man that I would be an example for. So my family, reaching back, when times got tough, hey, I'm doing this for them. I'm doing this for my country. I'm doing this for my, I know this time, but I'm doing this for my hood, right? I'm doing this for my community. And so I think I took pride in that. That made me take a lead. I wanted to take a lead and walk off the field a couple times, but I said it. I did it, and I'm going to do it. So that inside is what made me stay. And I hope that someone here, whatever you commit to, it's also so someone that's about generation, about the new generation. You have to be committed. You have to be committed to something. Right? You can't be committed to everything. You have to be committed to something. So find out what that is, that motivation, and stay with it.
You want to say, I am from Howard Middle School. My question is to you, during your career during the military, were you able to go to college or take college classes?
Yes. So once I graduated from Fort Valley, I went to FAM. How I got to FAM was in the military. So I told ROTC at college level at Florida State. The Crosstown School was FAM lead, the Raiders. I think they are Raptors. And so I got my master's degree. So the military sent me back to school to get my first master's degree. So then I fast forward a couple of years, did some more jobs in the military. And then they sent me out what they call a National War College. In other words, one of the best colleges in the world. So yes, the military has opened doors for me to continue education. To this day, I still take courses. As I say, I just went to Georgetown last week. Before that, I was at Johns Hopkins School of Engineering, working on artificial intelligence and data running, on how artificial intelligence and data running will change the way our forces do things in the world. So yes, military has opened the door, continues to open the door for me to continue to run.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, how you doing? The first couple of days in the military, right? It was. I was kind of nervous, I'm unsure, but I knew I was well prepared. So the first couple of days I was kind of nervous and unsure, but I knew I was well prepared for what I had been taught here at Northeast. To be committed, to be resilient, what I had been taught at Fort Valley. to be committed, to be resilient, to believe in yourself, and then what they taught me when I went to observation, of course. So I was ready. I just had to show up and get past that fear.
Good morning, sir. Hopefully, I'm not invited. And my question for you today is, if you had to develop a deployment, do you still communicate with people that you deployed?
Yes. So if I had to deploy, how do I keep in communication with the people that are deployed? So my current job now as the Fourth Generation Center Commander, that's what we do. We deploy airmen for the reserve command all around the world. So basically that center is a center where we have different divisions. We have systems, operations, forces, and we have exercise divisions where we process the paperwork for people to do exercises, to do deployments, and to return to and from theater. And the way we communicate with them, believe it or not, is just like you do. With Teams, with Google, not Google, but with what is the technology today? WhatsApp or those type of different devices. But yeah, so communications is how we do it. We do it through internet, email, Outlook, all the channels. So we do communicate. Communication is much better today than it was when I first came in. It was writing letters on the telephone, but now you can FaceTime. So.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Sir, good morning.
It's
any programs that I recommend? Yeah. I recommend you continue to stay in ROTC. I recommend that. So I was told by Lieutenant Colonel Brown that Northeast or the Bibb County ROTC program that started in middle school. That's beautiful. So I'm gonna switch here and talk about a little something. So STEM. So STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. What we're finding out is for people to be ready for those career fields, we have to start in middle school. So I think what the Bibb County School District has done here by starting in middle school, get people interested, see if they want to try it out, and then parlay it into high school is a beautiful thing. So to answer your question, stay committed to whatever it is you want to do, continue to try it out. So start where you want to.
I am committed first major from Howard School. And when you were deployed, did you ever fly fighter jets?
Nope. That's easy. Yeah, no, I'm not a fighter. So my background is logistics. So they call it logistics, but I was in charge of maintenance. So I was in charge of C-130, C-17, and C-5. So in other words, we maintain the aircraft. So everything Warner Robins, anything that Warner Robins does. Warner Robins is 3 of the major depots that the Air Force have. I'm not a part of the depot. I'm a part of the Generation Center on Warner Robins. But I have been a part of Air Force Material Command. We repair all the aircraft, generate them for the pilots to fly. I'm not a pilot, but the opportunity to fly is there. The opportunity to be a logistician, a maintainer, supply, you name it. You can do it. You can do it in service.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir. I'm the lecturer for our first class for in high school. And my question is, did you travel and if so, what was your first place?
Yes, I've been all around the world. So my favorite place was Korea. So Korea was my first duty station. So I started out in the Army. I did 5 years in the Army. I was never stationed in the States. I did my basic training. I did my training in Fort Bliss, Texas. Deployed to Korea for a year, considered partial for, then I went to Germany. Then I transitioned to the Air Force. But career was my favorite position. Once again, back to that question that someone asked me earlier about why did I pick the Air Force? I met my wife in career. So that was my favorite place. But also, we in the Army, we worked hard, we played hard, and it was good for me. It was a great time to serve. It was a great place to serve.
Thank you, sir.
I'm here just to encourage you. Those were some great questions. Those great questions. To encourage you, to make you, also to let you see that I started right here where you are. It's possible. It's possible. Once again, life is what you imagine it to be. Right? But you got to have the right perspective. You got to take some action. You got to have a willingness. A willingness to be open, a willingness to ask questions, a willingness to take time to tap into all this experience that's around you. That's a wealth of knowledge in this room. I'm looking at the teachers, I'm looking at the recruiters, I'm looking at the professional staff here. I'm looking at the exposure that you guys have, not on the phone, but in person, to able to look someone in the eye and ask them a question about, how did you do that? How can I do that? Please take the time to ask questions and engage in what you want to know. Once again, so just to let you know that there's a host of things that you can do, in the services, in the Air Force Reserve Command, for one, to over 200 job opportunities or career. We don't call them jobs, we call them career opportunities. Because we're going to train you. We're going to train you to be a professional. We're going to train you to do whatever it is that you desire to do. But the most important thing today is that you've already started. I said the hardest part was to start, but I'm looking right here. You guys have already started. You've already taken a commitment to try to look deep within to see what you're made of, right? By being in this program, by being disciplined, by coming to school, by seeking to continue your education. So, stay after it, stay committed, stay humble. It's going to be a struggle. It ain't easy. It ain't always easy, but it does get easier. But I'm here for you. Once again, I can't say thank you enough to the administration. I can't say thank you enough for the news media. I can't say thank you enough for the recruiters. I can't say thank you enough to the teachers, my collaborators, and Wildcats that are here in the audience for having me here today, because I came from the same places that these young people here are currently maneuvering through. So with that said, we can come. Yes.
Let's give him a hand one more time. We can't say enough, as we were saying, for you taking time out of your day to come here and speak to Northeast High School and the kids, JROTC, JCLC programs here. It's been amazing to listen to your journey. Hopefully our kids, our cadets will take that, embrace that, and it will be a source of fire for them to continue to grow. We wanted to present some people to you on behalf of the Northeast and CTAE for your coming years. A little swag for you, sir. This time, if the recruiters would like to come on the stage, they wanted to.
Hey, I'm Team Manager Sergeant Eric Ballard. I'm the recruiting flight chief for the local region. Thank you to the General for being here. Thank you for allowing us to come and tag along. You heard his story. His story is pretty inspirational. So the question I have to ask you is, what is your story going to be? As recruiters, our job isn't to put people in Air Force Reserve. Our job is to let you know what opportunities you have and set you on the right path. Whether it's Air Force, whether it's Marines, whether it's Army, whatever it is, you come and tell us and sit down and what is your dreams, what is your goals, and we try to help you get there. If it can't be through the Air Force, then we make sure we give you the right resources to get where you need to be. Our recruiters know anytime somebody walks into our offices, we have to give them an opportunity, because we don't know when we're going to recruit the next chief of staff, the next general. 10, 15 years from now, this could be you up here telling your story. So my question to you is, what is your story going to be? Anytime you have any questions, there's cards back there on the table. You can even hang out and talk to us if you have any questions. But thanks for having us.
Just to inject here into the program, I want the cadets to see something that's a tradition in the military. So basically what I want to do is see myself follow a corn, right? So this corn represents his hard work, because someone asked about leadership. This gentleman is wearing two hats. So basically when we're short-handed, he's stepped up to the mark, and his commander has asked him to take on some additional roles and responsibilities in recruiting and trying to reach young people where they are. So I want to take the opportunity to give them my personal form to say thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for your service, and thank you to our nation for going that extra mile.
Okay, regulars, listen up. We're going to get ready to dismiss. I think we're in fifth period. Someone should quietly get your books and quietly exit.